Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. This is the moment we've been waiting for. The pregame to Ascent versus froyotech in this week 6 of ESEA Season 25 invite. I'm Ro, joined by Marxist and Nicell, who's filling in for Dr. Shadow Puppet because he's got a lot of packet thieves in his ISP. They're stealing his packets, and so he's lost them.
Indeed, poor Shadow Puppet. We lament his situation, but we called in big Nicell here, and he's gonna cover us tonight. Should be a great match, perhaps the match of the season, Ro.
Quite frankly, it will be, because the last time these two fought each other, it was EVL versus froyotech, and EVL took the match 5-2, something like that. 5-3 on Sunshine. Quite a mix-up of a match, you could say, because that map has quite the controversy as far as it's not a foundation of every player's TF2 career, whereas maps like Badlands and this one tonight, Granary, they have a lot of, typical things you would know how to play it. So you just play your best game, win your fights, do the things, pull out the nice rotations and the strategies, and the better team will come out on top. Ultimately, it comes down to which new player for the team, whether it's for Ascent or for froyotech, which new member will screw it up less. I'm calling it out. Will Mela screw up more, or will bot mode screw up more?
Well, we'll know in approximately an hour's time, I'd wager, who was the least successful in that endeavor. But while we're here, we do have some roster stuff to talk about, so I'll let you pick one, Ro, and get carried away with it.
All right, I'm going to go with froyotech, so you can give the whole rundown of the new Ascent. I'm going to be talking about froyotech, who we've been seeing all season long. Still the same roster, only they've lost their pocket and gained a new one in bot mode. They have Blaze on Roamer, bot mode on Pocket. Their scouts, Banny and Eric. Shade returning this season as Medic. And finally, Habib, aka Assassin, playing the Demo Man class.
And over on the other side for Ascent, everybody's come to know this one. We've got new soldiers in town. And that Rando is still Pocket, as far as I know, though there are rumors that they're going to flippy-flop there. But Mela, aka Mabla, has made the return to the soldier class for Ascent. Yomps and Corsa will be your scouts, but Donsky will be the demo, and Nursey will be your medic for the evening.
There you have it, folks. This is going to be quite the map, particularly the mid-fight for Mela. Mela played last week, right?
Indeed, he did.
Okay.
That was his debut on Badlands.
So his debut has already happened. He's getting back into the swing of things. He's an MGE Lord. He's got what it takes to really make an impact on every single one of these mids, because back when the base jumper was still allowed, there was a brief time that was allowed. He used it in a match for some funky bombs going on at Granary Week. And I remember watching those. So I think Mela is going to have a huge impact when it comes to these mid-fights, bombing in. It's going to be up to froyotech scouts, Banny and Eric. You couldn't get any better than that, frankly, at this juncture. As far as passive scouts, the return of Sugar is not going to happen, unfortunately. So it's going to be interesting to see Mela's timing, if he still got that down pat for his previous roamer life. But now he's running the Pocket class, while Rando is pulling on those roamer shoes, one could say.
Yeah, indeed. And then over on the other side, we've got bot mode, who's been called into service for Froyo and has not played a great deal with them so far this season, to my knowledge. And bot mode has also traditionally been a roamer. So that's, they're basically carrying two roamers, as they were earlier in the season as well, when they had Purple Shirt for a time. That Purple Shirt had played roamer pretty much his whole career, as has Blaze. So, who will be the other soldier for Froyo. So that'll be interesting to see how they try to play this one out. It may, traditionally, when I've casted Granary matches between these two teams, I've usually given it in favor of Ascent because of Mela and Rando typically having an edge in my mind on Froyo soldiers. But with two roamers, this is the map, the one map of the year or the season where the roamer may very well top damage on the team. It has happened numerous times in TF2 history. This map gives the roamer a lot of freedom that they don't normally experience, particularly at mid.
That it does, because yeah, the skybox is absolutely massive. All of the entrances, particularly, are very favorable for the blast radius of a rocket. You can juggle players, and then the ceiling is so low that you end up catching them with 2 easy rockets, and there's no escape. They have so much strength in the lunchbox. They have so much strength in the shutter or Z, the garage door, everywhere. The old hiding spots that Seagull used to take and perch up. I can't remember who it was that originally. I think it was Seagull. Seagull's perch on the lamps at mid. Like, this is a roamer's playhouse for such a typically stalematey match.
Yep, indeed. And I should talk about some of the changes that have gone down here, so hopefully our cameraman and Nicell will follow me with somewhat a bit of clarity. So at mid, garage has changed. There's now a tiny door next to the regular garage door at mid. That's a pretty big change overall. There's also an ammo kit in that little alcove that they've added. So that should make it a little bit easier to get into mid. Mid fights might be modified as well, because just hiding your mid in the garage will be less viable. So it'll be easier to get to. The other really big change that I would talk about is at last. And the sniper wall along the back side of mid has been reduced in length. And so the sniper wall is still there, but the sight line it gives you is not nearly as good as previous editions of the sniper wall.
That it is, and although it didn't have too much of an impact, in my opinion, typically this is the spot where the sentry is. Right now, I'm looking at the red side. The wall is a lot closer to the front of the spawn door, which is the biggest factor of this little previously known sniper wall. But it also makes the sentry gun placement a lot easier for the engineer, because as long as the demo doesn't push out left or cut across the point to go straight for the gun has a really good clear sight of the pipes of the point, and it's very hard for players to take care of it. They can rotate to the left side now to take care of it instead of having to deal with it head on normally or use the demo man. But I think a sentry might have a bit of an edge with this new layout.
Yeah, and then one other cool tidbit. I know you mentioned this before. Do you want to mention the last game that these two teams played on this map?
Well, with these current names, Ascent versus Froyo, yes, back in September of 2015, Season 20, we had a wonderful cast of what turned out to be a 60-minute match with only 3 rounds being played. Well, maybe 4 or 5, depending on if the last round, because the last round of the not finishing the round happened. So it was 5 rounds of TF2, and there were only 2 victories on the side of froyotech. They took it 2-0 at the end of 2 30-minute halves.
And who were the casters, Ro?
That was good old Pure, who's now in the Overwatch realm, and Buick, aka Keith Smurbeck, who might be making a comeback this season, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first. There is talk of Keith Smurbeck returning to casting TF2.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've talked to Keith, so it should be pretty cool to see him back if he does manage to find the time to come and cast with us again. It'll be an experience for some you younger guys like Ro, and a nice little stroll down memory lane for me.
Because Marxist has been in the game longer than Marmaduke.
No, that would be a false statement.
Okay, I take that back.
Speaking of long time in the game, I know Granary draws a lot of hate now, but back when I started playing, if you pugged or lobbied, you did so only on 2 maps, and it was Badlands and Granary. You played no other maps but these 2. And so it holds a very special place in my heart, because I've played as much Granary as I have Badlands, and that's a lot of TF2. But we should be in for a pretty cool game. Most of the players in this match are different than the ones that we would have seen back in 2015 Yomps Corsa, for example, or
No
Eric,
alpha.
bot mode, assassin. So lots of different players for both teams, but the core is still mostly intact. 3 players from that returning season for each team. So we've got 1 full 6 of returning players from 2 years ago.
Very interesting, actually, the fact that 3 players from each team played before, and they just cycled out 3 different players. So they have kind of an even edge on that regard.
Yeah, both teams should have a core contingent that remembers what happened last time. So it'll be interesting. The map has changed, so we could see some weird stuff going on. It'll be cool to see some new strats, if any get broke out today. I imagine mid fights may happen a bit differently because the garage has changed. So
yeah, the garage
more passive mid will not pay off as well as it used to, because it's just easier to get in garage.
Exactly. It's a lot easier to not get stuffed at that one particular entrance. You can, clear the stickies if the demo somehow just decides to run it through choke, go to the left side and sticky off the garage. No, you have an option of baiting out the sticks and then going through any of the other entrances. You can't get completely shut in. And you also, of course, have that catwalk, which is the preferred route I've seen throughout my entire career in TF2. Most players prefer playing that catwalk and then waiting for the bombs, shutting down the bombers, going for the kill right away, down the lanes, the intersection, all that good stuff.
Yep, the more passive strat, which was pioneered, really, I would say, by LG, which had Banny and Shade and Blaze. Well, Blaze was not there yet at the time, but Banny and Shade were there, and they sort of pioneered that full team catwalk strat against Mihai's Flow, who was a very aggressive team. And they ended up coming away with it 5-4 in an instant classic. And ruined Mihai's perfect season. So here we go. We're actually going to see that green text. We're going to see the bright, shiny new rollout for the first time this season. Hopefully they give us a good one. It should be, by the numbers, the best match we've seen all season.
Let's see what the new players and the old players can bring to the table in this classic battle of Granary of froyotech versus Ascent. This is the match to decide it all for the first seeding of playoffs. We do see here now, but also getting a much faster rollout, going to be immediately cutting off Habib from the catwalk entrance with a clean sticky trap. That's what happens when you don't get your rollouts done right. It is so easy to punish a demo man for that, and as a result, froyotech have completely abandoned the mid fight entirely. They have no hope but to just commit to a back off while Habib gets ready to get back to second here. Gonna be loading up stickies, and Yard has been taken for free from Ascent. So right away, Habib, a weak link in the froyotech chain.
Yeah, to be honest, in the pregame we mentioned mistakes, and Habib just screwed up his rollout there, and he instantly died because of it. But now we have both Ascent soldiers trapped in garage, lunchbox as it may also be called, and they're both going to get taken out. No Ubers exchanged there to try to save the soldiers, and now Ascent has to hightail it out of here. They might theoretically be able to hold mid, but there's only 3 players here for the time being. They're going to sack a scout. Will it get anything? No. Nearly kills Eric, but no. No frags to be had. The Uber is forced off now, and Shade gets taken way down to 20 health. Is going to manage to pop it off in time. Has the longer Uber. Fighting still going on at mid. Shade is going to go down to Mela, who bombs in just in time. Corsa's going to pick up a frag on the return. Nursey's going to kill bot mode, who's chasing, and it's only Blaze who is now dead and gone thanks to Badonsky. So a full wipe there. Both Ascent soldiers go down again, but it didn't matter.
The control point is being
It was a great exchange from all players. Shade got taken down by Mela there, who was able to just catch him on the tail end because so much damage was done from Corsa. Corsa pretty much took on Banny with a full team around him and took out Banny, then followed up on some great damage to force Shade off, and then Shade too low to stay alive. Mela was able to clean up. Right now we do see great aggression from Ascent to take down Blaze, who was sitting up top. Did a lot of damage to Corsa here. Corsa waiting desperately for an arrow, and now the push is going to be coming in from up top. They force right away, afraid of all the stickies. Going to be getting in now very cleanly. They spot the heavy out on the right side. Eric on the heavy, going to be getting a lot of free time here. Mela gets down very low on health. Going to take an arrow there to stay alive and trying to initiate again onto this Banny, now rushing forward to try and slow down some players. Habib with a nice little pipe onto Rando, finally going to take that down. It's still Mela up top, trying to connect on it. Nothing happens. Habib gets taken up by Dodonsky, and Eric has made his way onto the point. The arrow spam tries to come and take him down. It is Yams backing up with Nursey now, and the rest of froyotech are flooding into this yard, or rather the point. Going to be able to get this for free, and not going to be able to stop the forward spawns from Ascent. And Mela, Rando trying to decide if he wants to off-class, decides better of it. But they do have all their spawns at mid, ready to slow down this push from Shade, try and force this Uber right away.
Yep, that was an interesting push there too, because they went up the right side, which is a new little feature that you can pop up there like that. I'd still walk up the stairs myself, but it's an option. They do have some Uber advantage. It looks like Shade believes they have a whole lot too. They're going to pop it off now and come running at Dodonsky, who may go down here. The Uber's popped off. He's saved at 8 health, and that will wipe out Froyo's Uber for the time being. But they would like to pick up a frag, but no, they're going to lose Mela as well. Bandy's going to go down. Habib still has no health whatsoever, but it doesn't matter. They're making out 1v1 in the garage. Corsa is going to at least trade out with Eric, but it doesn't matter. They're too many down to hold. Ascent.
froyotech gonna just now be finishing up this cap. Dodonsky trying to peek a little aggressively here. He actually is gonna commit to it because he's here with Yams, who gets taken down by the stickies of Habib. And it's a follow from Mela, who's got a fairly sizable buff here. Gonna try and clean up on the Blaze, who's jumping away freely. And bot mode is not gonna have any of it. Gonna drop on his head and bring him to his knees. Habib getting the credit though for his sticky spam. And it is now Rando desperately trying to get out. The cap didn't even happen yet. They're spawn camping? Trying to make something happen there. They managed to let Yamps get the forward spawn as a sniper. But they're going left yard, so they won't be seeing any of that.
Yep, and they're going to cross in bot mode with the invite level play there to Goomba a jumping Mela and prevent him from escaping. It looks like they're going to go up top. A popular play if players are down. They're actually going to get pressure on the point as well, as all of Ascent had turned around. But then they realized that Blaze and Eric have no heals or support, and they just kill them. So their compatriots did not move out fast enough. The Uber is going to be popped, and Habib is going to go down, and Banny is going to try to make the great escape, but he meets a Mela right in the face. There is a soldier running away here as well in bot mode. He is very low, 18 health, going to take an arrow, and he'll be fine. But 2 picks is good enough to cap mid.
Shade beefing a couple of arrows there to keep bot mode sustained. Don't really know if he was more worried about hitting the scout or hitting his teammate. Thankfully, though, bot mode was able to get out just in time, escape the wrath of Corsa, who was chasing desperately here. We do see Shade with a full Uber advantage. Only about 16 seconds to work with on this push, though, and with so much ground to cover on Granary, it's going to be really tough right now. And Garage is getting initiated by Rando and Yamps. We're able to do so much damage now, but Yamps rushing in, gets taken out by Banning, who's now going to be rushing forward with this Uber potentially. They need to move in now. Nursey was not building efficiently there. Going to be getting a tiny bit of Uber here, but now with still no advantage gap removed, and Shade is giving Nursey a little too much credit there because Nursey was not building, but Shade doesn't know that, so he can't push. He thinks Nursey has Uber.
Yep, and that was, again, another mistimed push from Froyo. Their flank, they said we're pushing, but the combo never went in as an Uber is popped off and Habib actually goes down. But the Uber is not forced, so there's going to be a lot of death come from this one, I think. Froyo is charging through. They're still invincible, but nobody has anything loaded to clear the new doors, so there's going to be a bit of a hang-up, and no Habib is a great lack of damage as Eric and Banny both go down as well, so that's going to put them in a bind.
Corsa now following up behind Dodonsky. Going to be clearing things out for his team. Yamps with the flank, coming from Lunchbox right away. He spots out Habib, tries to take a shot. 2 shots, takes him down right away. He's trying to juke around bot mode as much as he can. And now the follow from Corsa is trying to initiate onto it. So much damage onto bot mode. But finally Shade connects that arrow, threads that needle, and is going to be able to keep bot mode alive for just a moment longer. But Nursey getting the Uber now, and the rest of the players forcing in. They do pop their Uber off right away, and Shade is 1 Uber saw away from getting this Uber. He's juking as much as he can, and it's not going to be enough. They just gap the point while pushing the players back. And the first round goes to Ascent, taking their first round against froyotech on Granary in a quite long time.
Well, as we said, the match is going to come down to mistakes, and Froyo had 2 badly mistimed pushes, and they ended up losing the round. And they also had a pretty poor mid out of Habib.
But Habib goes down right away with a great follow-up bomb on Rando. The one sticky initiate onto Habib and was able to pick that off. A great little mini air shot there from Blaze, who's following up. Bot mode trying to get in there. It's taken by course up Blaze, following in, gets juggled to the air, and a follow-up play from Badonsky. Oh, this is insane. Badonsky now backing up with Nursey, trying to get them out of this mid-fight. froyotech have managed to get the better of it, thanks to that damage and distraction from their soldiers. Able to follow up even without Habib at this mid-fight. But Badonsky's got a trap there, does pop it right away, almost takes down Benny, and the rest of the scouts are coming in from Shade, popping the super right away, trying to force onto Nursey. I don't think Nursey has it, but she does have it just in time now. Rando going to be chasing players down with the rest of these respawns who are coming in, slowing down, splitting this team apart. Benny rushing forward, going to try and take down Yobs, but Yobs is so much better than both scouts. He's taking them on 1 versus 2, takes him down, but gets cleaned up by Blaze right away. Habib finally getting the better end of Badonsky here on the other side of things. The rush from Choke of Ascent is trying to make it happen here. The follow-up off the Blaze. It's not going to happen. He misses the shot, and Nursey with a comfortable 150 HP is going to be pushing it with the rest of Ascent to take this midpoint and secure them this high ground as froyotech trying to push in through garage slowly, trying to take the heals in. Banny's actually initiating onto the crate. Form a distraction with Eric's help, but Eric is taken down after taking down Nursey. I missed that. What a great play.
Indeed it was. Shade's gonna get taken out by Corsa though. Thinking ahead, Corsa manages to grab that med frag. The ever elusive Shade kill, who had another perfect game last week, I believe, or the week before. So they're gonna manage to maybe hold this out. Froyo is coming in a big way though, but 3 of their players are still way back on their own second. So there is some room here, but there is a player above. It's a scout and Banny. He's going to make it out. So I got excited. If it had been a soldier, that would have been bad news bears for Ascent. But they are now trapped in their own second. Ubers are even.
Ascent aggressive, though. We do see them peek in the garage door and Z. And bot mode trying to peek from the shutter there. Does manage to not be afraid of those stickies, just to get a little bit of an eye on where Ascent was going with it. Ascent looked like they wanted to commit to it, but they were just kind of putting their best persons forward and seeing what was there and then decided better of it. They do not have any advantage whatsoever to move on. As a result, they have backed off. Looking now at Rando here in Lunchbox. He does have an eye on the Lunchbox, the shutter door. Spots out Eric here, who's rushing forward, almost gets caught by it, but Rando's rocket's not going to be able to juggle that. And Habib getting a little bit antsy over here at the shutter, trying to push players back here.
Yep, and we'll see what they're doing here because Blaze is way back at the drop down. And it makes me wonder. Oh, it doesn't look like they're doing anything. They're just going to send bot mode in up top. But Rando is going to get taken out, so the play is working for now. And we'll see if they try to move on that because that's solo Uber territory here.
Right now, Shade trying to call his players to go forward. Bot mode rushing in, hits a nice little rocket onto Yomps here, but the rest of the center kind of unsure where to look for because there's a player at shutter, and up top they do commit to it, thanks to Melee, who initiates onto bot mode, takes him down, and with Blaze and bot mode down, no soldiers for froyotech. Shade's backing up very far now at the garage and to the midpoint. Ascent, Nursey falling close behind. They do spot up Annie, get a nice rocket onto him. Of course, tries to finish it off. Melee hitting another great rocket, forcing off Shade there with 2 great scattergun shots. Shade getting very low on health, trying to desperately get a player in, but that's not going to happen now. Following Corsa here, he's going to be chasing Shade. Shade gets taken out by a clean rocket, or a scattergun shot there to take it down, and Habib getting a lot better of it, though. He does take down Badonsky and Rando there with the last legs of his life there. You see bot mode grabbing the pack, jumping up top, slowing players down, but Corsa with another meaty shot going to try and happen while Eric is trying to get the backhand. He does get it! He's going straight for last. There's nothing to stop him.
Yep, and that is going to be the round. So there we go. A nice back cap play. They delayed it. It was a huge risk there because had that delay not worked, they'd have pretty much been all completely dead. But and a player trap behind, but that happens on Granary. It is a very swingy map, and if you let a player get behind and the back cap succeeds, you probably lost the round.
Badonsky now got a trap once again for Habib, who takes the rocket, surfs over to the crate, and is almost going to get taken down. He's waiting very patiently for the arrow, decides to go for the packing now, with Habib being so low, no denial whatsoever. Pray to Eric is still going to be the first death. Granny, though, going to pick up on the Yobs here. And bot mode might get caught out. Finally does get picked up by Mela, who does spot out Blaze jumping in. Blaze getting so low on health, but he's able to pick up Corsa there while he surfs into the garage, waiting for an arrow from Shade, but it's not going to come anytime soon. Mela going to get taken down now. And Nursey backing up with Badonsky here. Going to be slowing down Blaze, who was waiting for the mini pack in the garage. Going to not make it any opportunity to flank Nursey there while they make their escape and set up stickies for the second hold.
Yeah, that was a good call on Mela's part to just bomb in and die there, because had he not, they would have kept moving forward, and that probably would have meant Nursey being unable to escape. So here we are at the second yard into second proper push, and we do have a player camping the lunchbox, as is typical. So we'll see what Froyo chooses to do here, because there's a lot of potential rotational play here. And it could be pretty cool. They're clearing stickies right now. They got both their soldiers in the lunchbox, so this is where you see what they're going to do. They're going up there, but bot mode's going to get killed in a sticky trap. So that should be the end of that. They're probably going to try to hightail it out of here. Scout is trapped in, and that's going to be Banny going down as well. Zubers are exchanged outside in the left yard, and they're going to run him out of town. Blaze is going to go down as well, so that was just a complete disaster for Froyo.
Thinking above the garage door, no one has spotted it. They're trying to clear it out. They're going to be looking for it. Corsa now getting eyes on it. He does spot out the stickies, but doesn't call it. Thankfully, though, the sticky bomb does not kill him. And Corsa and Yams rushing forward now, taking down players as much as they can. We do see Corsa with a pistol, desperate to take down bomb mode. Shade's actually very low on health, and initiation from the rest of Ascent could take it down. Blaze with the bomb, not going to be able to connect onto it, though, but bot mode walks forward, takes down Mela Nursey with clean rockets. It is just Shade alive, but he's all the way on second. He is very comfortable right now because the respawn, Eric and Habib have come to the rescue and are going to be here in yard because the numbers are even on both sides. Habib, Badonsky overextended though, might get caught out here. He does think better of it and backs off to mid, where he'll be setting up for the rest of his respawns.
Yes, indeed. Well, that was an interesting series there because it started with a flank through choke from Ascent because almost no Froyo was covering it, and Habib and a scout got in for free and nobody noticed. And then it turned into a flank from Froyo because all of Ascent crowded the choke and left the whole left side of the map open, and they got bombed and lost their med. But here comes Shade with the uber advantage. They're trying to use the new door. Soldier gets through. Bot mode is in for free, basically. He's a little banged up, but not that badly. Rando's attempt at doing stuff is going to end in failure, and Shade is going to take this point for free. But unfortunately, Froyo is not. They're stat capping this point, so they will not be able to use their uber advantage.
Fortunately, no, but they really wanted to deny that fourth spawn and decided to push off the numbers advantage rather. And Rando's still just on the respawn here. We see Mela getting aggressive on the yard, or the shutter, or garage. But meanwhile, Badonsky has been taken out by Eric, who rushed in through the choke while all the action was happening in the right side of yard for Ascent. And as a result, they've lost a lot of players here. Eric, the only casualty from froyotech, trying to keep bot mode alive there. He does manage to get a little bit of that uber and is maybe managing to catch that. Nursey trying to escape out, doesn't get called out, finally does get noticed, and Badonsky is the last player alive here, trying to slow down this froyotech cap as they rush forward, cutting off Nursey's escape, taking that down very cleanly, and it's just Badonsky up. The respawns have come in though, and the soldiers aren't going to get this up lightly. Mela down to very low health, getting so much damage at the bottom of the scouts. Might respawn in time, but no, the cap was all they needed, and Blaze finishes it off. The respawn delay was just enough, but it was too little, too late. Day late, $1 short, Marxist.
Yeah, I should point out, Shade had a really crazy surf during that fight there that drew him into the enemy team and allowed Habib to just be right in the grill of Ascent there and do tons of damage.
There it is. We do see Badonsky once again having the better of these mids, getting more ground than Habib, and Habib feeling a lot of action. And it's Mela who jumps onto Blaze, but Blaze gets the better of it. He's getting an arrow right now as Shade surfs the double stickies, and another follow-up rocket from Blaze is going to take that down. Badonsky gets cleaned up by Banny, and now froyotech have taken their third mid of this game, and they're going to be finishing this off as Habib walks his way forward, and Nursey doesn't want any of this. Nursey's all the way back at last because froyotech have such a numbers advantage from this exchange. They got no kills, and as a result, Ascent has to kite on their uber entirely for this last hold.
We have
Well, yeah, they've got their setup coming now. That's one of the big things the arrows change here on this mid, because Habib taking a lot of damage early should severely impede his ability to participate. But instead, he takes a quick arrow as long as you don't immediately kill him. And, whoa, they're going to lose too. So that's a standard tactic here is a two-man sack. That is okay. They should be all right here on Froyo. It'll be up on Ascent to see what they're going to do. It looks like they're trying, but now they are too late, and Podolsky's going to open a door by himself and get removed from the video game by Banny. And that is all Froyo needs.
He was so close with 2 rockets, Nursey strafing very excellently, but the players could not clean up bot mode, and as a result, he was able to force Nursey once she landed. And that's all you need to deny that Uber. And with Podolsky down, that was enough grounds to just push Uber versus Uber, but bot mode got in for free almost and was able to take down that Uber. And now with waiting on the respawns of their players, Yamps went on Sniper and died as a result. But Nursey Shade rather, with the Uber advantage ready to go at any moment, they need to pick their timing as soon as possible and decide how they're going to take down their players with this Uber, because they could get the positioning or they could go for the players that are closest. We're going to see actually initiation from Rando, who's able to force that Uber off, walking through. Unfortunately, not a very good defense from froyotech, denying that freely waddle from Rando. Now we do see Mela sitting on the pipeline, keeping eyes on all the players he can. He's going to be jumping up and noticing the players, but the rest of the bombs are coming in from Habib, who's able to take down Yamps. And Banny was able to walk forward, clean up Nursey, and with no heals, it's up to Mela and Podolsky, who are so low on health. Rando on the respawn, getting a nice rocket onto Eric. The frags are so strong from froyotech. They had so little health. 1 rocket apiece would have taken down any number of those players, and that would have been the defense for Ascent. But instead, froyotech will be taking this round, this half, 3-1.
Yeah, indeed. We have a lot of downloading going on. So Ascent knows what Froyo wants to do on their last pushes. They've gone up top every time. They do the same thing where Shade jumps off the thingy, the little elevator grain stuff. It looks like a crusher. And then they go out up top. So Rando called that, but they were still unable to defend. And then the mids for Ascent are very focused on denying Habib. And unfortunately, it is not working at all for them, because even if they do kill Habib, they end up trading a player for that, and they don't get a bunch of frags off of it. So in the end, you're just trading 1 for 1, and then they lose the fight after the trade. And that they cannot continue to do that and expect to win.
We got to do a quick stats rundown because this is as close to the wire as it gets. Both teams have a combination of 65 frags. The damage is only about 1,000 apart. Bot mode is matching Mela damage for damage. Corsa actually out damaging Banny, but Banny being the other scout that is top damaging, almost 300 DPM for there. Corsa top damaging for the entire server. Frags are insanely in favor of Corsa as well, at 21 to Banny's 19. And like I said, the frags are so razor thin apiece. Bot mode, 2 more frags than Rando, who is actually bottom damaging almost right behind Yamps, or right ahead of Yamps rather, but 5 frags, 17 deaths for Rando. I think that might be the weak link in this match.
Well, sometimes you know what they say, Ro, if you aren't dying, you aren't trying. So maybe that's where Rando is, and we'll see. I hope that Ascent makes some adjustments here so that we ultimately get a better game out of here, because I know they have the potential to do well, but they are getting crushed at mid, and Granary is a map that is very unforgiving of being crushed at middle. If you get nearly aced and have only your medic survive without getting any frags, this map will not forgive you that sin.
I do want to point out really quickly, the deaths for the medics are Shade at 5, Nursey at 4. So essentially, these rounds are coming down. You could say a correlation is not causation, but the number of deaths is equal to the number of rounds that have been played. I think there's something there that says what I'm saying. You can infer the rest. We do see here Habib once again taking early damage, and that's going to be a desperate thing for him to stay alive now as he's waiting for the arrow. Dodges the arrow from Shade, on accident of course, but it's the Cowmangler I see from Blaze that was actually able to get a ton of damage on the catwalk, and as a result the players of Ascent have been scattered, and Nursey has died from Eric, who is currently sitting on the catwalk and be rushing over to the players. He does spot out Mela and hits him down, follows up onto Badonsky, but finally gets taken out by Yomps. Yomps gets cleaned up by Bot Mode, and Bot Mode is going to try and clean up onto Horsa, who is able to take down Bandy, but not able to clean up onto Shade. And as a result, it is a complete wipe with Shade. Full Uber, Nursey, the first death, the first respawn.
Yeah, well, the one bright side there is they did manage to kill both scouts, so this cap is going to go down as slowly as can be. We're not in an era anymore where the demo runs Pain Train very often, so no ×2 cap available. The big thing for that mid, in my mind, was Blaze's charge shot from the Cowmangler. They just called it out, and he hit 2 players with it. And that pretty much wiped out whatever plan Ascent may have had in mid.
Right now we do see actually a great trap from Badonsky. He's going to be able to take out Bot Mode there. Very sneakily placed in the upper right corner. Then a follow-up Sticky is able to take that down. So with Bot Mode down, there is some initiation here from Rando, who's ready to peek. He's very close to the door, and he actually has a lot of freedom, but he doesn't know it. Blaze now just getting up top. The upper area, he does have eyes on that doorway, and Rando will not be able to waddle his way through this one. And Shade also comfortably sitting under Lunchbox's catwalk. Rotating around, finally he takes the stairs up top. Gonna be ready to take the super up top. Nursey, despite being a respawn, and despite a full advantage and a wipe, Ascent had managed to slow things down enough. Get Uber.
And they're gonna kill Banny here, so they're actually going a lot faster this time as Rando feeding in. And they've also got their sniper set up to take the shot of his life. But Shade is about as safe as they come. But Blaze, Rando is going to take him down. And that may be the impetus they need, because that sniper is in here deep. And he's going to go all the way out there and nearly kill Habib. And then escape. So really nicely done there from Rando. I think they're going to manage to grab this. It'll be interesting to see if they go ahead and Uber here. Yeah, they're going to move Bot Mode using the shotgun in position. They will not let this point be capped. You have to exchange Uber for it.
But the spam is really strong. Shade.
They're coming in now. And the Uber will be popped off. The engineer is here. The gun is out, and it's Yomps, actually. It's not the Rando NG. There are soldiers behind, and that's going to be a problem, and Badonsky is going to go down as well. Note that this point is not capped yet, so a dry push into last could occur. The dispenser goes down. That may be the only pick they need.
That is exactly the initiation they see. Dispenser down, move forward. Rando getting a lot of damage onto Habib, but he's getting chased down desperately. Yomps going to take on Bot Mode there. And with Bot Mode down, froyotech are losing the aggressive damage they need. Yomps also going to be able to take it down with his shotgun. Taking down Eric. Corsa gets taken down by Blaze as he flies into the battle. Gets taken down. Unfortunately, all these players have been drafted into Yomps' war as his engineer is really coming forward. Habib chasing down Nursey, almost takes her down. She's so low, but does manage to sneak away thanks to the gracious fence that is right there. A little bit of cover.
Now we need to start playing the secret agent music, because Eric has chosen to use Spy to break this stalemate that we've got going here. And we'll see how he tries to get in. Usually up top is the way to go, but that entrance is spammed fairly regularly. Will he do the fancy jump there? That is a alarming sticky trap if you're Eric. Is he? No, he's not going to do the fancy jump. There, and now he
triggered the door. He triggered the door, though, as he walked along the wall. As a result, I think Badonsky might have called it out. Maybe he wasn't seeing who was at the entrance. As a result, he won't know that Eric was Spy. But I do hope that... No, it doesn't even look like they've noticed that they're not spy checking or looking around. They're playing really dumb, and as a result, Eric has a lot of freedom. So right now, we do see some initiation from Banny, peeking very aggressively at the shutter, trying to pull the players back. And it's just spotted out, finally, thankfully. Yomps keeping his eyes on a 180 turn. Going to take down Eric there, and now we're going to see who's going to run through. It's Yomps, who takes down Blaze!
Yeah, and that is going to start a lot of activity here. because it's 2 players down, and Rando had a lot of success, and they are way behind as well. This is Yomps all the way in. He's watching this Uber from behind, but in a 1v1 out here, the team backs up and is around on them. In goes the soldier there. Whoa, Rando gets owned by the Platinum Air Shot. And they're going to get Corsa as well. I don't think this cap is going to... Oh, they do get it, but it may be a Pyrrhic victory because they are 3 down. And there's going to be a lot of hate coming for them here.
Right now, the aggression is coming forward. We do see a nice little surf from Eric, who's trying to clean up Mela, but gets cleaned up by Yomps instead. And Yomps is out for blood. He's going everywhere he can. He's surfing around himself. He does spot out all these low players. Going to get that second kill onto Blaze, and he's following up closely behind Banny. Banny takes a nice rocket from Rando! Rando with the vac. Instant locked onto it. Shade desperately rushing forward, tries to clean it up, and Rando gonna get that pick. What a great set of rockets from Rando, gonna clean that up. That was absolutely insane. Taking down Banny with 2 predictable rockets, following the path of Banny, slowing it down, and now Yomps spots out Eric, who was predicting a choke rush. Does get taken down by Yomps, who is having none of that, but there are still players in forward spawn. It's bot mode with the Mackie strat.
Well, the newly adopted Mackie strat, because this spawn wasn't here when he
spawns
played.
anyway.
Oh well,
Blaze
rest
still
in
there
peace. Yeah, Blaze is probably the better option here. He's gonna come out. The Uber is popped away though. We'll see if anybody gets caught out. That is a Banny frag. That used to be good enough. Mela's gonna go down, however, and now in comes Blaze. Gotta play that Jaws music because he is right behind Nursey. Nobody knows he misses all his shots though, and then he gets destroyed by Vedonsky. Oh, not the finest moment in Blaze's career. But Shade does have Uber, so not all is lost.
Yes, that was enough of a delay to allow them to get their Uber just in time. Bot mode grabbing 2 picks on the flank over here in Lunchbox, and now we do see... Excuse me, Ascent backing up to the garage. Gonna be able to get behind as Mela, with a desperate attempt, throws a rocket at air. Doesn't connect onto anything. And Mela's gonna back off. Somehow make an escape. The Uber was not forced off, and now Yomps on Spy is gonna be making a play here because Ubers have evened out. This is a great chance for him to go Spy because normally froyotech would expect maybe Yomps would play a sniper class in the forward spawn. And now Yomps getting into position here. I think he's on the cloak and dagger. He does let it go right away. He gets spotted out, but grabs Shade with the pick. That's going to be an opportunity for Ascent to push forward now with Shade down. Yomps showing his colors this game as he is currently leading in quite a number of points. Thanks to that drop backstab. 4 points to him, +2 to Shade. Let's see what froyotech can do to defend. They do force off this Uber, but lose 2 players in the process. Corsa showing his true colors as he rushes forward, trying to get down Habib, who's throwing stickies desperately in every spot he can. Botmo tried to bomb in, gets taken down by Benanzi's great pipe there. And now froyotech building up their Uber. Ubers are even, but the forward spawns are available to Blaze.
And that was another cool display. I don't know if Nicell caught it, but Badonsky 1v1 bot mode chased him across mid and killed him solo. So you usually don't see that kind of activity. We are seeing fighting now inside here, but Corsa and Yomps both die. And that is going to be the end of that. And there is the player out of the drop down.
Oh, it didn't work. I was watching Eric that whole time. Banny, not afraid to follow up though, gonna take down Rando. Finally, Banny stepping into his shoes. He is ready to frag. He is following up with his teammates, Eric, and Habib is in garage. Sticky's onto Nurse's feet, gonna pop her Uber off right away. And now Badonsky gets taken down, or Badonsky takes down Habib with the Iron Bomber roller, which is very sad to die to. Mela gonna get a lot of damage onto the froyotech players, gets cleaned up by Banny. And now froyotech rushing into the choke. They do spot out the players. Can Rando slow things down? He is so low on health. He's just throwing rockets, trying to juggle the players. And now the force has come. Shade rushing in with Eric, who's trying to make something happen here. Benanzi was taken down by Banny though. Benanzi not getting out in time, and as a result, there is no able to defend here. Nursey has a sizable advantage, but will they be able to make anything happen? We do see the froyotech players are not letting up any of this time. They're rushing in now. Very aggressive bomb from Mela, who's able to take down not anyone actually. He gets taken down himself. Yomps gonna clean up onto bot mode, and I'm looking at the stickies of Badonsky slowing down the players, but it's not gonna be enough. froyotech taking their first round of this second half. froyotech are on match point to take it down, to exchange with Ascent, saying, your new roster is nothing to our new pocket.
Indeed. Froyo is having a pretty solid game here. A few missteps, but Ascent has failed to really punish them.
Now, getting the worst of this mid as he finally is getting taken down. The charge shot comes through, lands onto Mela, and Podolski's lost his escape route. He does manage to find his way by hitting the S key, backing up, doing what demos do. Blaze with the double soldier rocket bomb, not gonna get it taken down because Nursey with the arrow spots out that double skybox bomb, gets taken down himself. And now it is a desperate fling from bot mode, who doesn't manage to connect onto anything there. Shade gets dropped by Corsa there, and Podolski with a nice pipe onto Eric. It is Ascent's mid, and they take down all these players. Nursey has the full Uber, and Banny and Blaze on the respawn. Banny actually opting to go for the engineer play here.
Yeah, and this is exactly what you want if you're Ascent, because you need 3 rounds in a hurry. And this is about as fast as you can go. Actually, Podolski all the way in, gonna kill the gun already. So strip that 7th player away. Bot mode is on the sniper. They're going to go for this upper push. Traditionally, I haven't liked it, but since they've moved the push, the cap forward, it's been a lot better. So here they go in. Uber's pop. The 7th player is but a baby, a toddler, and their Uber is gone, and they have done nothing. And Nursey's gonna get destroyed by Habib, who takes out Mela as well. A completely botched last push. They only kill Eric the heavy, and that's that. The level 1 sentry made all the difference, I think.
The beef is strong, but the forward spawns are stronger as 4 players are going to come up, including a demo man, who is going to be jumping over Podolski, setting up a trap on Choke, and be calling it out, while the rest of the players play aggressively in Garage. But the Choke call was right. Podolski sniffing it out. Does find it. Spams all over the Choke. A lot of damage onto Shade, and the players are so hurt. One bomb can clean it up. Rando walking forward now onto Habib. Habib so low, gets cleaned up by Yops, who is rotating around trying to sniff bot mode back, pull him back, and now the double aggressive back cap strat is happening. Rando getting on the point with the help of Yomps, who is ready to back up. Rando shooting 1 rocket, 2 rockets, 3 rockets, but all A's is so low. Bot mode can get cleaned up here, but no, Yomps was far too low to get there. And I apologize for my lack of alliteration, but that will be the end of Blaze, and that.
There is a lot of feeding going on Ascent now, but bot mode kills himself. And that, well, I don't know if it was sympathy or he thought he had gunboats on, but that'll be that. They are trying to push here in Ascent. They're kind of, they're gonna get 3. That was a huge random rocket, and they're gonna end up getting Shade as well. So that was a huge one, and Yops is gonna kill bot mode. There is a hider in Garage. Do they get anything? No. So that was massive. Podolski, or not Podolski, Habib was jumping through space and just ate a rocket, and it ended up killing all of Froyo.
Our control point.
That was all that happened there. And that's why I say 10% of this game is lost, because that was huge. It opened everything up, and in comes this Uber row.
We do see Blaze trying to force the Uber off right away. Yops walking through the pipeline. He does get the better of the soldiers. Can follow it up. Finally, Mela gets the shot there. And now with 2 players down, it's very hard for Froyotech to hold on to this. Habib, though, is still alive. Throwing some pipes and stickies as much as he can. Finally gets cleaned up, and that's going to be the cap. Very clean response from Ascent. Taking it down with a good mid. Good push. Going to be making it 4-2. Can Ascent bring this back with very little time left on the clock? 15 minutes for 2 to 3 more rounds. Will we be seeing a full force of Froyotech to see if they can hold on to this, stop the momentum of Ascent? Right now we do see Habib walking up to the catwalk. He does take the first sticky, and that's going to be setting the course, but both demos have taken stickies from both sides twice. Podolski finally getting onto the pack, and he's going to stay alive. Ascent very slow to get in. Rando playing a little more passive in the Garage. Going to clean up onto Blaze there thanks to Yomps walking forward, but finally he gets taken down as well. The follow-up from Ascent is trying to cut onto Shade here. Bot mode jumps forward, knocks a set Mela into the air, takes him down with a clean rocket there. Corsa gets taken down by Habib's great sticky, and Froyotech is rushing forward. It is just Nursey alive, gets taken down. Podolski still alive on the Garage. He does spot out Banny. No, he's going to chase down the medic. Shay gets taken down, he's so low! He does the Uber, but he does not pop. Habib getting the better of that.
Yeah, and basically Badonsky was trying to be a secret agent, man, but his biggest problem was he used up most of his ammo trying to get Shade there, and then he ended up in a 1v1 with a fully loaded Habib, and that's not a 1v1 you want to be in usually. But there is a rando hiding behind this team, and they've shown time and again they love to come up here. He is going to kill the wrong player in Habib, though. He pulled the trigger a little too early. So he downloaded Froyo's strats, but he hit the EXE too soon.
That he did. Follow-up bomb from Pop Mode. It's going to see out Corsa. He got disconnected from the Ur just long enough. And actually, Yams has been keeping the Sentry alive for so long. It's actually staying alive still. It's barely even been scratched. This new spot has been a complete game changer for the Sentry meta on last, because it is so much stronger, so much harder to kill without a demo man, without soldier aggression. And we saw there how much power it had. Right now, froyotech are trying to slow down this cap a little bit, peeking the shutter, but Ascent will be able to get the cap and deny any potential back cap shenanigans, though I don't see anyone going for anything right now. Blaze is holding up the forward spawn, decides not to go with it. He's going to be walking forward now. Nursey with the Uber ready. They've got about 10 seconds left before Shade gets his Uber. Will they be able to capitalize it through the garage or the choke?
Well, they're headed choke, which is my preferred method of going. So they get in here pretty easy. There is a player behind. It's Eric. Oh, bro, do you see it? He is going back, and there's only a rando who saw it. It's all on rando. His team is dying, and they're going to scare him off for the time being, but in exchange for their whole team. So, and he does get the kill at least. And we'll see. I don't think that's it. Like, Eric brought them all the way back. Froyo is going to cap this second. So that's how effective just walking behind the other team can be.
On a linear map like Granary, it's very hard. When you have so many players so far forward, it's the routes to stop a back cap is very difficult. Right now, we see bot mode gets taken down by Ascent Mela. And as a result, Yam's going to clean up onto Habib there. Yam's still having a field day with froyotech, as it's actually Eric going for last. He might be able to get the cap in time. Is that the end? What a shame.
And our EU gimmicks come into play. And Eric with another back cap to win the game. That's one of the risks you take if you go into that second to retake. You've got to do it in a hurry or you're going to lose, because there are 3 doors you've got to watch, and it's hard to keep them watched, and then you just lose.
That's Granary for you. Infamous for its back caps, and I gotta say it again, these stats are so razor thin. There is no deciding line between what went right and what went wrong. The damage is within 50 points right now. The frags are within 5. These teams are so powerful. You'd look at these stats and you'd think this was a 3-2 that goes into overtime or something. But no, it was a 5-2 thanks to back caps. That's where it's at when it comes to Granary.
And the mid losses. Like,
yeah,
had
that one
Ascent
time
not allowed themselves to be back capped twice, and if they won more than 1 mid, then the game would have, or 2 mids, excuse me, the game would have turned out much differently. But going 2 out of 7 is not good.
I don't know. I don't really see anything particularly in these stats that's worth talking. I think more importantly is talking about what this means for the rest of the season, because froyotech currently have 1 more match against teams in the top 4, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they will be playing Faint Gaming later on in Process Week, about 2 or 3 weeks away from us right now. But coming up this week is froyotech versus No Mercy. This is going to be a key moment in whether or not froyotech will maintain their lead, as they are now the only team with 1 loss. Every other team has 2 losses, if I'm not mistaken, unless No Mercy also only has 1 loss. No, they have 2 losses. So yes. As it stands, froyotech only has 1 loss from EVL Gaming, the new Ascent, and the new Ascent could not do what EVL did on Sunshine Week, froyotech had the better foundation for a Granary match.
Yep, and usually I give it to Ascent there, but they just didn't have it together tonight on their mids. But I'll run you down some stats just for their names to get mentioned. Is your King Fragger was actually Yomps, who was on the losing team, mind you, with 33. The top damager was a big 289 out of bot mode. Who was your pocket soldier. He also received the most heals of any player in the server. And you can tell Shade was attached because Shade has 21 assists and Nursey has 12. So Shade was riding bot mode, who had a great performance tonight on the pocket class, running that shotgun on Granary. So take that, gunboats purists.
Yes, Try cannot decide the meta for us, nor can Lansky or any other insane soldier that just never misses rockets. Shotgun is still around, ladies and gentlemen. So, as I said, this week coming up, we will have froyotech's match against No Mercy. Potentially, we will get that down once they've scheduled it. And hopefully we can bring that to you, ladies and gentlemen, and see if No Mercy has what it takes to finish what Ascent started.
We're going to bring you a different game as well.
Yes,
tomorrow.
That's Lunatic and someone else, right?
Yeah, Velocity Esports versus Feint Gaming.
Feint Gaming, that's right.
Your
Velocity
casters
versus Feint.
for that one. Who do we know yet? Who are going to be the casters for that
I
one?
think it wasn't set yet. No. Yes, it wasn't set yet. We haven't established that, but I promise you, we will have a cameraman. Thanks to Nicell. Can we get a huge shout out to Nicell for filling in? Dr. Shadow Puppet was supposed to play for us tonight, bring us the action, but Nicell's been doing a fantastic job capturing all the action. I didn't see a single T-Tours in chat, so if you have love for Nicell, give him the unironic T-Tours. Tell him, camera guy, we love you. Huge shout out to covering this game. This was a big one tonight. Huge number of viewers, and thank you all for joining us for this. This is not the end of the stream. We're still covering some things to say. But yes, we will be having Velocity versus Feint Gaming. We will have a producer. We will have casters. The game will happen, and it will be glorious. So look forward to that tomorrow, I think. Will be that match.
It'll be tomorrow at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. You'll see such players as Purple Shirt, Scissor, and Jarrett versus Oranga, Evil Mr. Muffins, aka the Terminator, and Sandblast, who will be duking it out on Granary, just as we saw already tonight. So we'll see what goes down there.
That will be tomorrow's match, and then later this week, hopefully, we'll get together a match of froyotech versus No Mercy, the other top 4 seeded players going at it on this map. Will No Mercy rise to the challenge, or will froyotech maintain their throne? You will find out later this week once we get that information. If you need to keep up with all things TF2, it's very simple. teamfortress.tv. Check out the schedule, check out the threads, get in with the conversations, and see us here at Team Fortress TV for everything happening. Thank you all for such a lovely cast. Thank you to Nicell for producing. Thank you, Marxist, for color commentary and some play-by-play. And I've been Ro. Thanks for watching. Have a good night. Peace.